Every time when they cry, we say, go there, grab the lovers and go there and play. Grab the phone, go to the chair, sofa and play. We teach them right when they're still young, a baby. We already taught them that. Anything that they like, anything that they want, we always provided them. They are dependent on us a lot. And now that them and us dependent on technologies, cell phone, your lovers. Back then, 20 years ago, we could remember the whole phone book. And now ask yourself how many numbers that you could remember. 3, 5, maximum 7, 10. Depends, right? And for those who memorize about 10 numbers, they probably have the pagers now, still using the pager instead of the smartphone. And guess what? We live with our lovers every day. And that is why we always sidetrack. We cannot control our emotion. 1 year, you change one lover. Is that right? We always chase after the new version of phone coming out. And there are years that you have to change 2 or 3 lovers. You know why? Those times when you brought him and her to the toilet and talk. You love it. I don't know why you love talking with your lover in the toilet. While you do it number 1 and number 2. And then being not mindful, you are unmindful when talking with your lover in that toilet. Somehow, you drop her or him in that bowl. ... You feel it in what's in there. And now you have to change another lover. So 2 or 3 lovers per year. So wasteful. Right? So don't bring her or him to the toilet anymore. Leave them outside. Go do your number 1 and number 2. Come out. Because it stinks in there. That is how we train ourselves. Train our mind to be more mindful on one thing at the time. That's what I want you to understand. Train ourselves to have a new habit of doing one thing at the time. Doing number 1, just number 1. Number 2, just number 2. Eating, just eating. Don't eat and watching TV and talk at the same time. Don't change your clothes while watching movie or listening to music at the same time. Don't go to bed and still holding your lovers in your hand at the same time. You could not go to bed. You could not go to sleep. Is that right? And then in the middle of the night, you wake up. The first person you will ask and reach for is your lovers. And you could not go back to sleep. And this is our habit right here. We've been living like this for a long time, long enough, and our kids now, they're doing the same thing. Even worse. More than us. So how can they have a strong mind to deal with difficulties? We need to think about this. We need to change the way of teaching our kids. Otherwise, we will ruin them. And then when they committed suicide, we suffer. Why I know all this? Because I have seen so many come into the temple, and I have helped so many too at the temple. Really bad. I feel sorry for them. So we definitely need to change this way of living for ourselves. And in order for us to change our kids, we have to change ourselves first. Is that right? If we tell our kids to do this, but we don't do it, we tell our kids, don't bring your lover to the toilet, okay? But while we spend hours in the toilet talking with our lovers, then we cannot change them. We have to become a role model for our kids. This is how we change this family, this world, to be a better world, to clear it, to purify it, so we can have a peaceful day and happy day. And so when thought arise, we keep chasing after the thoughts. Now that we have a new habit of not chasing those thoughts anymore, we silently say, thought, acknowledge that we have thought, coming back to the breathing. Another thought pop up, we have to see it, we acknowledge it, come back to the breathing. And then keep coming back to the breathing. Whenever we have thought, acknowledge it. Don't try to push it away. Don't try to eliminate it. Don't get mad. Just simply acknowledge it that you have a thought. Come back to the breathing. And then you hear noise, you hear talking, you hear any type of sound. Acknowledge as a sound, come back with the breathing. And then feeling, sensation on this body. Just acknowledge it. If it's itchy, by that area, come back here. Numb, pain, back pain, acknowledge it, observe that. Come back with the breathing. That is how we train ourselves to come back to this present moment. We are not living with the past anymore because the past is already past. It's become a history. No one in this world can change history. We don't need to live with it. But we all been living with the past. That's why we suffer. Now that we have to let it go, make a vow for ourselves that I will change and I will become a better person in this world. I will not repeat the same mistake anymore. And then let it go. Move on. Don't think of it. Whenever those thoughts, those things that we have done in our past that is regretful, it's okay. After you make that vow, let it go. When it pop up, what we should do is acknowledge it. That, oh, that thought is popping up now. Come back to the breathing. Take a deep breath. Even if you want to take a deep breath at that moment when you're outside. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. You can go back to this present moment without chasing those thoughts. And we don't live with regretful anymore. And then we will happy. So this is how to train ourselves to have a new habit. Right? Bringing our concentration back to this present moment with each and every breath going in and out. Now, every day, we have to be mindful on every little thing we do. When we switch our legs, when this movement, when eating, if we are not aware of all these things, it's difficult for us. We have to train ourselves just like a baby. Just like a baby. Know how to crawl and then stand up and fall down and then stand up again and walk and then run. Right? We have to change like that. Step by step. We will be mindful in our daily life. And then when at nighttime when we go to bed, please remember 1 hour before bed, no lovers. This is a must. No lovers, even if you say that you have to check Walk for Peace. No, it's okay. It's okay. Leave her and him alone. Okay? Breathe. Sit down and breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. And then go to sleep. In the morning when you wake up, the first thing in the morning when you wake up after a long night of rest, if we rest, truly rest without lovers, we can have a good night of sleep. If we live with the lovers during the night, we probably cannot have a good night's sleep. So when we wake up, if our mind is still fresh and pure, not a cloudy mind, please give our mind a job to do before it's picking up all those trash to chew it over and over. Trash means all those bad habits, those bad things in our life. Those are not usable. Those are trash. But our mind is capable to picking up all those bad things, not the good things. They're always picking up all the bad things. And then when they pick up one bad thing and think it over and over, another bad thing will come after. It's like like a string coming like that. And so give ourselves a job to do by getting out a piece of paper and a pen. Write down the statement, say, today is going to be my peaceful day. Today is going to be my peaceful day. That's it. Write it down, but it's a must that you have to have a paper. Don't just think in our head. That's not powerful enough. When you have your hand and your mind doing the same work, it is very powerful. It will remind us more during the daytime. After you write that down, read it over with our eyes, read it over and over, and then read it out loud with our mouth to state it that to the universe, saying that today is going to be my peaceful day, so that no one in this world can mess it up except us. Remember, there will be no one in this world can mess our days up if we are not allowing them. We are the only person who have the right and capable to mess our days up, which we've been there, done that. So now is a chance for us not to mess our days up anymore. It's suffering too much, way too much already, and we don't have much energy left to waste. After we stated that to the universe, we work through our day by practicing mindfulness. Practice love and kindness and compassion. If we don't have love and kindness and compassion, we cannot have peace. Love alone is still have selfishness because we only love the people we like. But loving kindness and compassion is no boundaries. Has no boundaries. Okay? And so during the day, practice mindfulness one step at a time, one thing at a time. No more multitask, trying to lock our lovers for an hour, couple hours during the day. Try to practice like that for our own benefit. When you can do that every day, you will have a peaceful day. When you are at peace, your family will be at peace because they don't have to see your sadness face and stressful face anymore. By seeing us stressed, can they be happy? Of course not. That is why I say it always begins from us, from ourselves, and then within our family. If we can make this world happy and peaceful, if we can make our family's world be happy and peaceful, the society will be happy and peaceful. The whole country will be happy and peaceful. This whole universe will be happy and peaceful. That is how we spread peace, by practicing. So let us all say this thing together. Today is going to be my peaceful day after I count to 3, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Today is going to be my peaceful day.
Imagine of that sound, that voice radiated throughout this world by every person in this world are saying and doing the same thing. Just one simple thing like that every day. Instead of we saying all the hurtful things, all the bad things, all the bad words, all those things that we do in life, instead of spreading all those hate and angers and delusion and greedy to that universe, we should only spread this. So when we can all spread only this instead of hate, this universe will shower down, back down with all kind of love and kindness and compassion and peace, so that all beings can have a better place to live. Right? Just like we throw in the ball to the wall and it bounces back. Whatever we throw into this universe, it will always come back. We've been getting it, all kind of disasters. From human, from the Mother Earth. And it's not ended yet. It's still coming. If we don't change now, if we don't change this world now, together, we'll be suffer a lot more. COVID-19 have killed so many people already, and we are so grateful that we're still alive. What about the second COVID coming? What if there's another one coming soon? We're not sure that we be able to escape, right? No one can sure about this. So we have to take our time and utilize our life to live a better life instead of suffering life. All these I have said is come to one thing: determination. Without determination, we cannot do this. Without patience, we cannot do this. Determination, patience, and effort. We have to have effort, to put effort into this practicing. And we have to determine that we have to change ourselves. I cannot let myself to go back to the old days anymore. And I will be patiently practicing. I will not give up. Giving up is so easy. Anybody can do this. And a lot of people have been given up. It's because they always wanted to walk on the smooth path. They don't like roller coaster. But in this life, there will be no smoother path. It's always up and down. That's our life. Patiently, if we fail, it's okay. Stand up, walk again. If we fall again, stand up, crawl in, and then walk. We walk until we cannot walk anymore. That's what makes us different with everybody else. That we can climb, we can walk on the flat road, we can climb the mountain, we can walk on any type of path. That makes us different from everyone else. Just like the cactus. I'm not talking about those cactus at our garden. I'm talking about the desert one. There's one time I went to Vietnam and some of the lay devotees took me to one of the beach. And then we have to walk a long way, walk through the desert, all sand and rocks and everything. And I saw a lot of cactus growing big and tall with a lot of needles around it. And I keep looking at those and I found what? A very beautiful flowers on those cactus. And at that moment I said, okay, even this cactus living in this condition of the soil, there's no soil, just rock, sand, hot, humid. But it will never give up. It's still growing and growing even though there's not enough nutrition. There's nothing there. Just sand and then rocks and everything like that. But it keeps fighting and growing, growing and growing. And also can bear flowers, which is a very beautiful flowers, so that people can look at it. When I look at that cactus and I thought about it and I say, then the human being are the same. We live in different conditions of our life. But it doesn't mean that we cannot move on, we cannot change our life. It's just that how much effort that we're willing to put in. And are we willing to change ourselves or not? And are we patiently waiting for that fruit to bear or not? And that flowers to bloom or not? It all depends on us. So now that tonight, I hope that we are going to go home and take that into action. We'll practice from today to walk with the Venerable Monks to Washington, D.C. Are we going to walk together? That is low energy for all this crowd. Are we walking together with the Venerable Monks? Okay, now with this energy, I require you to walk in spirit only. Okay? Walk in spirit only by practicing mindfulness, loving kindness, and compassion every day. Be patient, have a strong determination, and put more effort into this practicing. Can we do that? We will in two change, right? And we will walk to Washington, D.C. together, but Washington, D.C. is not the final destination yet. We will have to walk until the end of our life. Every day, please remember to throw loving kindness, compassion, and peace to the universe so that peace can bloom and flourish throughout this country and around the world. I hope you all have a great night, and may you all be well, be happy, and be peaceful. Thank you so much.
We live in an age characterized by a profound and exhausting paradox. We are more connected than any generation in human history, possessing the ability to reach across oceans in a fraction of a second, yet we are simultaneously experiencing an epidemic of spiritual isolation, chronic distraction, and deep inner fatigue. The rhythm of modern life, particularly in the fast-paced landscape of American culture, often feels like a relentless marathon with no finish line. We wake up to the blare of alarms, rush through our morning routines, navigate through traffic, and consume our meals while answering emails or watching the news. We are constantly moving, constantly doing, and constantly consuming, yet we rarely pause to simply be. In this perpetual state of motion, true peace can seem like a distant, utopian dream, a luxury reserved for monks living on secluded mountaintops, or an elusive prize to be claimed only after all our tasks are perfectly finished and our bank accounts are sufficiently full. But peace is not a destination we arrive at after everything else is sorted out, nor is it a geographical location we can drive to and inhabit. True peace is a daily, moment-to-moment practice. It is a walk that begins entirely within the landscape of our own minds. This inner pilgrimage does not require a change of scenery, it requires a radical shift in how we pay attention to the life that is unfolding right in front of us. It is an invitation to stop running from ourselves, to lay down the heavy burdens of our chronic anxieties, and to learn how to walk with a gentle, deliberate presence through the ordinary moments of our days. To begin this walk, we must first honestly examine the things that keep us running. Chief among these in our modern era is our profound, almost religious attachment to technology. Consider the relationship we have cultivated with our smartphones. For many of us, this small rectangle of glass and metal has become our most intimate companion. It is the last thing we touch before we close our eyes at night and the very first thing we reach for when we wake up in the dark. We treat these devices with the devotion of a lover. We carry them with us everywhere, terrified of being separated from them for even a moment. We take our lovers to the dinner table, to the sofa, and, quite comically, even into the bathroom. We sit there, engaging in the most basic of human biological functions, yet we are entirely somewhere else in our minds, scrolling, talking, texting. We are so utterly unmindful, so desperately hungry for constant stimulation, that we occasionally lose our grip and drop our precious companions right into the water. And what do? We simply go out and buy a new one, repeating the cycle of distraction year after year. We chase the newest versions, the sleekest updates, completely blind to the fact that we have outsourced our memories and our attention spans to these machines. 20 years ago, we carried entire phone books in our heads. Today, we struggle to recall the numbers of our closest family members. More tragically, we are modeling this behavior for our children. We hand them screens to quiet their crying, teaching them from infancy to depend on external technology for emotional regulation. We are raising a generation that does not know how to sit in a quiet room, how to look someone in the eye without glancing at a screen, or how to navigate the inevitable difficulties of life with a strong, resilient mind. The antidote to this modern sickness is not necessarily to throw our devices into the ocean, but to fiercely reclaim the sacred art of single tasking. We must train ourselves to build a new habit of being entirely present with whatever we are doing. This sounds deceptively simple, but it is one of the most challenging and transformative practices we can undertake. It begins with the mundane. If you are going to the restroom, leave your digital lover outside. Go in, take care of your business, and come out. If you are eating, just eat. Feel the texture of the food, taste the flavors, and be grateful for the nourishment. Do not watch television, scroll through the news, and try to hold a conversation all at once. If you are changing your clothes, simply change your clothes. By stripping away the layers of multitasking, we stop fracturing our consciousness. We stop living in a state of continuous partial attention. We gather our scattered energy and bring it back to a singular focal point. This is how we build the muscle of mindfulness. We train our minds just as a baby learns to walk, first crawling, then standing, inevitably falling down, but always standing back up. We practice bringing our awareness to the smallest, most insignificant movements, the shifting of our legs, the sensation of our feet touching the floor, the feeling of the breath entering and leaving the body. By dedicating ourselves to doing one thing at a time, we slowly purify our minds of the chaotic static that usually fills our days, replacing it with a quiet, dignified presence. As we withdraw our attention from the external distractions of our screens, we inevitably come face to face with the internal distractions of our minds. We discover that even without a phone in our hands, our minds are constantly time-traveling, pulling us away from the present moment. We are plagued by the habit of chewing on trash, replaying past mistakes, agonizing over old regrets, and rehearsing future anxieties. We live with the ghosts of yesterday, suffering over and over again for things that have already become history. But no one in this world, no matter how powerful or wealthy, can change history. The past is gone, yet we allow it to dictate the emotional weather of our present. To find peace, we must make a solemn vow to let it go. We must resolve not to repeat the same mistakes, to become better versions of ourselves, and then we must gently, but firmly, move on. When a regretful thought pops up, we do not need to fight it, suppress it, or get angry at ourselves for having it. We simply use the power of mindful acknowledgement. We silently say to ourselves, thought. We recognize it as just a temporary phenomenon, a cloud passing through the sky of our awareness. And then, we return to the anchor of our breathing. We take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Whether we are sitting in meditation or walking through a crowded grocery store, the breath is always there, waiting to pull us back to the safety of the present moment. Every time we acknowledge a thought and return to the breath, we are breaking the chains of the past. We are refusing to let the mind drag us into suffering. The foundation for this level of mental clarity must be laid early, before the day even truly begins. How we wake up and how we set our intentions dictates the trajectory of our entire day. This process starts the night before. If we truly want to rest, we must give ourselves a curfew from our devices. 1 hour before bed, we must leave our digital lovers alone. We must allow the nervous system to settle, sitting quietly and breathing before we drift into sleep. When we do this, we wake up with a mind that is fresh, pure, and unclouded. But a fresh mind is a vulnerable mind. If we do not immediately give it a constructive job to do, it will fall back into its old habits of picking up the trash of yesterday. It will grab onto a negative thought, and because negative thoughts are like a string of beads, pulling one will inevitably drag up a dozen more. To protect our peace, we must consciously claim the day. Before looking at an email, before reading the news, we should take a physical piece of paper and a pen. We must write down a single, powerful declaration. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Doing this in our heads is not enough. The physical act of writing engages the body and the mind in unison, cementing the intention. We read it with our eyes, and then we speak it aloud with our mouths, stating our resolve to the universe. In doing so, we draw a protective boundary around our well-being. We realize a profound and liberating truth. No one in this world can mess up our day unless we allow them to. We are the ultimate gatekeepers of our own minds. We have suffered enough, we have wasted enough energy on anger and frustration, and we can choose, right now, to step into a day of unshakable peace. When we firmly establish this peace within ourselves, it naturally begins to overflow, transforming from a personal sanctuary into a boundless outward compassion. Inner peace is intrinsically linked to how we view and treat others. If our hearts are closed, if we are harboring resentment or practicing conditional love, true peace will always elude us. Ordinary love often contains a hidden selfishness. We easily love those who agree with us, those who look like us, and those who behave the way we want them to. But this kind of love is fragile and easily broken. True loving kindness and compassion, however, have no boundaries. They do not demand perfection from others. When we practice this boundless compassion, we fundamentally alter the environment around us. Consider the faces we bring to our families. If we come home carrying the heavy, stressful energy of a distracted and chaotic mind, our loved ones feel that weight. By seeing us stressed, they become stressed. But when we take responsibility for our own mindfulness, when we commit to doing one thing at a time and breathing through our difficulties, our family does not have to look at a face twisted by suffering. They see a face of peace. Peace always begins with the individual. It radiates outward to warm the family. A peaceful family creates a peaceful neighborhood, which builds a peaceful society, a peaceful country, and ultimately, a peaceful universe. It is a universal law of reflection. Whatever energy we throw at the wall of the universe, it bounces back to us. If we constantly throw anger, greed, and hostility, the world will reflect that chaos back to us in the form of societal division and natural disasters. But if we collectively choose to radiate loving kindness, the universe will shower us with peace, creating a safer, softer world for all living beings. Yet, we must be deeply realistic about the journey. Choosing to walk the path of peace and compassion does not mean the road will suddenly become entirely flat and free of obstacles. Life is not a smooth, paved highway. It is a roller coaster of unpredictable highs and devastating lows. There will be times when our patience is tested, when our efforts seem fruitless, and when the world around us feels harsh and unforgiving. During these times, we must look to the wisdom of the natural world, specifically the resilient spirit of the desert cactus. Imagine standing in a barren, sweeping desert. The ground is nothing but dry sand and jagged rocks. The air is blisteringly hot and humid. There is no rich soil, no gentle rain, no obvious source of nutrition. Yet, rising from this hostile earth is a cactus, growing tall and strong, covered in sharp, defensive needles. And from that tough, guarded exterior, it produces the most breathtaking, delicate flowers. The cactus does not surrender to its environment. It does not look at the rocks and the heat and decide to give up. It uses whatever meager resources it has to fight, to grow, and eventually, to bloom into something beautiful. Human beings are no different. We are all planted in different soils. Some of us face illness, financial ruin, heartbreak, or systemic injustice. We live in a world that has been battered by pandemics and global crises, and we do not know what future hardships may be coming over the horizon. But our external conditions do not dictate our internal capacity to bloom. It all comes down to effort, determination, and patience. We must be willing to do the hard work of changing ourselves, and we must be patient enough to wait for the fruits of our labor to ripen. Giving up is the easiest thing in the world. Anyone can do it. What makes us extraordinary is our capacity to walk capital like Washington, D.C., or simply commuting to our jobs in the morning. The real journey is the one happening inside our hearts. We are called to walk together, united by a shared commitment to mindfulness, loving kindness, and unwavering patience. We must walk with the understanding that a physical destination is never the true end of the road. We will have to keep walking, keep practicing, and keep trying until the very last breath of our lives. Every single day is a new opportunity to stand at the edge of the universe and declare our intentions. We must actively choose to throw compassion into the world instead of hatred. We must choose to put down our screens and look into the eyes of our loved ones. We must choose to forgive our pasts and breathe into our presence. This is not a passive state of relaxation. It is a fierce, courageous, and active daily choice. Let us promise ourselves that we will not let another day slip through our fingers lost in the digital ether or trapped in the regrets of yesterday. Let us state it clearly, with our voices and our actions. Today is going to be a peaceful day. And as we take each mindful step forward, may that peace radiate outward, touching every life we encounter, bringing healing to our families, our communities, and our world. May we all find the strength to bloom in the desert, may we all walk with purpose and presence, and may we all be truly well, truly happy, and profoundly peaceful.